Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm bringing you episode 51 of my brand new Comics Haul series. This is the series where each and every week when I head on down to my local comic shop and pick up all the new releases I'm going to be getting that week, I show you guys every single thing I got, and I tell you a little bit about every single issue. Here is the stack for this week. As you can see, it was a huge haul. I've had some smaller weeks in this last few weeks of new comic book days, so this makes up for all of that. I ended up getting 13 issues in total, which is huge for me. A few of them were from last week, a couple from Image were from last week, but most of them were from this week. So now that we've got all of these comics all the way out of the bag, let's get that bag out of the way. Okay, now that's all over with, let's get right into this haul. So let's start off with Marvel Comics. We always started off with the most anticipated. This week, that goes to She-Hulk issue number 1. I'm going to be trying my best to do a review of this issue, a short individual review video that'll hopefully be dropping today as well, so keep your eyes on the lookout for that. This one is a brand new ongoing series for She-Hulk. She hasn't had her own series in a few years at this point, and she has recently retired, I guess, or at least taken a break from the Avengers. Besides that, though, she's back into her original form. She has complete control over hulking out and turning back to Jennifer Walters whenever she wants to, but she'll probably end up staying in her She-Hulk form most of the time, like we see on the cover here, which is done by Jen Bartel. We'll see how this turns out to be. I'm going to continue getting this. Hopefully this first issue is good. I've heard it's really fun, a lighthearted book, exactly what I want from comics. We'll see how it is, though. That's She-Hulk issue number 1, and look out for my review of this issue dropping later today. Let's continue on with the Hulk releases that we got this week. We also got Hulk issue number 3, the main Hulk ongoing series, written by Donny Cates with art by Ryan Ottley. So this has been a little bit of a disappointment for me so far. It's of course been enjoyable. I mean, anything by this killer creative team is going to be good, pretty much no matter what. My main problem with it so far has just been that we don't have too much going on. We've got this huge idea, of course, where Bruce Banner is almost the villain of the run now. Basically, he's controlling the Hulk from the Mindscape. You kind of have to read it for yourself to fully understand things. I've got faith that this is really going to pick up. We're supposed to get a brand new villain that's supposed to be like the Hulk's Null, like Null was for Venom in issue number 6. I think that big revelation is coming. I'm looking forward to that. We'll see how this series continues to be. Let me know what you guys are thinking of Hulk down in the comment section below. I'm curious to know how you're liking the series so far. That's Hulk issue number 3. And next up this week from Marvel Comics, I've got Venom number 4. So this is another ongoing new Marvel series that was really anticipated for a lot of people that I haven't been liking that much. I've heard some good things, some bad things about this series, but I think the general consensus so far is that it's been a little bit disappointing, a little bit underwhelming. For me, that's mainly because it's been focusing only on Dylan Brock, who's Eddie Brock's son. Of course, Eddie Brock being the original host of the Venom symbiote. We've only had Eddie featured in the first issue where he seemingly died, but then we saw him go to this like symbiote afterlife where he met this new villain named Meridius. That's what I want to see in this series. So hopefully this picks up. I really want to like Venom again like I did when Donny Cates was writing it. Next issue we get the whole Meridius situation picked up, so I'm going to at least stay with this series through there. So that's Venom number 4. Moving on with my Marvel Comics this week, the next issue I'm giving my award for the best cover art of the week, and that's Moon Knight issue number 7. Not only is this an amazing cover by Corey Smith, where we see Moon Knight facing off against a bunch of the villains in a bar with no name, but this is also just a really great series overall. Jed MacKay has been doing such a good job writing Moon Knight, capturing the idea of Mark Spector, having all these different personas, different personalities. He's got like a multiple personality disorder. This issue does have some guest art though, which is by Federico Sabatini. I think I'm saying that right. So it might be a little bit of a downgrade from the regular art, which is by Alessandro Cappuccio. The artwork is just as good as the writing, so hopefully it doesn't suffer too much from that. I know that Cappuccio will be back at least next issue, maybe the one after that. That's Moon Knight issue number 8. Can't wait to read this one. Let's hop on over to the Spider-Man side of things. This week from Marvel, I've got The Amazing Spider-Man number 86. So I've been really enjoying the Beyond run so far. This is what, part 12 of Beyond, and there's going to be 19 parts in total, but this issue is supposed to be pretty important compared to all of the other issues of Beyond so far, because it's going to be a turning point issue. This one we've got written by Zeb Wells with art by Michael Dowling. Zeb Wells writing it is actually pretty significant. He's going to be picking up Spider-Man with the brand new relaunch they're doing in April with John Romita Jr., which should be pretty exciting, but he's also kind of the main main writer of Amazing Spider-Man Beyond right now. Time will tell how everything turns out. We've got, I guess, like 6 or 7 more issues of this run to go. We'll see how everything ends. So that's the Amazing Spider-Man issue number 86. The last Spider-Man-esque issue that I picked up this week was Miles Morales' Spider-Man issue number 34. It says on the bottom here that it is a Beyond tie-in. Take that for what it is. I'd say that if you're getting Miles Morales and you're not getting Amazing Spider-Man, you don't need to be picking up like the Amazing Spider-Man issues to understand this. This story arc so far, though, is the second part of this, I believe, 4-issue story arc that we're doing right now that's tying into Beyond, and I really like that first issue. We've got art by Michele Bandini right now hopping on board the book. Some really great artwork. The art has been kind of inconsistent at times. They've had so many different artists on this comic over the last few months, so I'm hoping that Bandini sticks around for the long run. We're going to get some multiverse stuff going on in this book soon. That seems to be the theme for a lot of Marvel comics these days. Anyways, though, I'm excited to see how they progress this story arc and the series overall. That's Miles Morales Spider-Man number 34. Next up from Marvel Comics this week, I've got Defenders number 5. This is another really highly anticipated issue for me. This is the conclusion to this 5-issue Defenders miniseries, although it says in the back page that they're supposed to return in summer of 2022. We'll see what that ends up being, but also, as you can see on the cover here, this is a really important issue, probably a key issue. You might want to pick this one up if you see it on the shelves, because it's the Masked Raider revealed. It kind of lost me last issue. Things were just so weird and insane that it was hard to follow, like just bizarre, different alternate Marvel universes, going back to past Marvel universes before the current one was birthed. It's like this whole cycle that the Marvel universe has gone through 8 times at this point, but I think all of us who are getting this series are really excited to see who the Masked Raider really is. I think it was back in August 2019 that they first teased this character, or introduced him, in Marvel Comics issue number 1000. Now, about 2 years later, they're finally giving us the reveal of who he is. I don't think that many people are too excited about it anymore, but I'm still pretty curious to find out who this character really is under the Eternity mask. So that's Defenders issue number 5. This really was a huge week of comics. We're almost to the bottom of my Marvel stack this week. Thanks to all of you guys who are still watching the video. But next up, I've got the Avengers issue number 52. This is carrying on with this current multiversal story arc that we've got going on. Just like I was saying with Miles, that's Marvel's big thing right now. It's kind of correlating with all the shows that are going on, you know, What If and all that. But Avengers right now is dealing with the multiversal Masters of Evil, who are featured on the cover here. Jason Aaron is, of course, the writer. The art right now is by Juan Frigeri, who I thought did a good job last issue. But for this issue specifically, I've heard it deals a little bit more with the Star brand, this baby Star brand who recently, you know, got the powers of the Star brand and now is working with the Avengers, kind of becoming an official Avenger. Anyways, that's Avengers issue number 52. I'm excited to read this one too. Alright, and the final issue that I picked up from Marvel Comics this week was Strange Academy number 15. This book, I want to give my award for the best creative team of the week. Every single month that this comes out, Scotty Young and Humberto Ramos knock it out of the park with some really spectacular character building, some great dialogue. It's a pretty funny comic overall. Might be a little bit geared towards kids, although it does have that T+ rating on the bottom. Now Doctor Strange is dead. They're not really referencing that anymore in this series, and we don't know whether it's set before or after the Death of Doctor Strange event, but right now we've got this character who's featured on the cover here named Gaslamp. His first appearance was last issue. Everyone was going crazy saying it was a key issue, so that one's pretty valuable now. I don't think he's going to stick around for the long run. I really recommend this series if you haven't already hopped on board. I think this is getting more and more popular. I definitely recommend Strange Academy. That's number 15. Alright, to finish off the video, I picked up 4 different issues from Image Comics. 2 of them were from last week, 2 of them were from this week. My shop got shorted on its Image issues last week, but I managed to get both of the ones I was planning on getting this week. The first one that I've got here was Scorched issue number 1. I would have done a review of this one and everything. I was excited for it, so it was kind of a disappointment not to pick this one up last week. I'm still really excited to read this one though and see what the deal is with this brand new Scorched team. If you're not aware, this is a Spawn's Universe title. This is the 4th of 4 brand new ongoing series, or I guess 3 ongoing series plus the main Spawn one, and this is the team comic. It really also seems like it's more focused around Jessica Priest, aka She-Spawn, who's featured on the main cover here. This is cover A. Even though it's the official team comic, the main cover of the first issue is featuring one character, so it might be more centered around her, but we've also got Gunslinger Spawn on the team, Medieval Spawn, regular Spawn, and they've promised that more and more characters can be added to the roster. It'll kind of be like a rotating cast the whole time. I am definitely curious to read this issue and see what I think of the Scorched, the brand new Spawn's Universe title. That's the Scorched number 1. And next up, this one did come out this week. I've got another Spawn's Universe title. This one is King Spawn issue number 6. So this was the second of the 4 ongoing Spawn titles to release, and I've really liked it so far. This is definitely one of the strongest titles. It's one of my favorites. I guess Gunslinger Spawn is probably above this for me right now, but the main idea behind this is that there's these different cults. I guess one main one that's trying to make Spawn the king of the world, but really they're trying to make him go down this dark path. This has also been a chance for a bunch of old Spawn villains to be reintroduced, resurrected. We had Billy Kincaid as the main villain for the first 4 issues of the series. Now we've got the return of Jason Wynn, which was revealed last issue. He was the mastermind behind the original issues of Spawn, so I'm pretty curious to see how they build him into this, how they explain his resurrection. That's King Spawn issue number 7. We'll see how this series progresses and what happens next. Next up this week from Image Comics, I've got another book that came out last week that was on my radar. I wasn't planning on picking this one up, but so many people said such great things about it. We've got Rain issue number 1. This is part 1 of a 5-issue miniseries. It's an adaptation of a novel which was written by Joe Hill, who I know has also written some comics. This basically is about some sort of, I guess, relationship between these two people on the cover, but then it gets ruined by some sort of tragedy, like an apocalypse where there's shards of glass or something that rain from the sky. If you guys have read Rain, I'm really curious to know what you guys have thought of it so far, what you thought of the first issue. Let me know down in the comment section below. So that's Rain issue number 1. Thanks for sticking with me to the end of the video. Here's the last issue that I picked up this week. I know it was a really big haul. I've got Time Before Time issue number 9 from Image Comics. This has been a pretty good story arc so far. We got a brand new story arc that started in issue 7, so now we're 3 issues deep, and it's been a little bit easier to follow for me than a lot of other issues of Time Before Time. It is a time-traveling story, so what can you do at a certain point? It's going to be confusing no matter what if you get too deep into the past, present, and future. This book mainly has to do with this character Tatsuo, though, who is a worker for the Syndicate, this kind of shady organization that has cracked time travel. They're able to send people into the past or the future for a sum of money, but they've been known for separating families and raising the prices and stuff. It's basically the future is so messed up that people want to get back to the past. They've got a 3rd story arc announced, so they're going to continue ongoing with this, and I'm excited to see where it goes from here. So that's Time Before Time number 9. Alright, well that was every single one of the brand new issues that I picked up this week. I want to know what you guys got though. Let me know down in the comment section below. Definitely a big week for me though. I'm really excited to read She-Hulk, my most anticipated issue of the week. Hoping that one is good, and definitely look out for my review of that one dropping later today. But if you got some good information from this video, or if you enjoyed it at all, make sure to click that subscribe button, the big red button sitting right below the video. You can also hit the notification bell, which is sitting right next to it. You'll be notified every single time I post a new video if you don't want to miss any. So that's everything from me for today. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Bye, guys.